Got it? Okay, now I'm live for real. Now I'm live. Okay, here we are. Okay, I'm back. So this class is on EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, and how you can use it with manifesting, law of attraction, energy work, everything. And the reason I wanted to do this class was because I use law of attraction and energy work and manifestation a lot with the EFT, because when I started with Gala, of course, my lady, a lot of her stuff was on that. She deep dived into the law of attraction and manifesting and all that stuff. So when I discovered EFT, I discovered it in a way of her way, and a lot of her stuff was really into living in the law of attraction, living in the energy of feeling good and wanting to live your life energetically good. And so I think that's why I have a hard time sometimes doing a lot of clinical EFT as me as a person. And so I was like, I should do a class on this because this is something I really know about and I use a lot in my stuff. So this class is going to be kind of like my normal, but like I said, I want you to ask me questions. I'm very good at answering things. Sometimes I'm saying things and then I'll get on the thing and I'll be like, what was I saying? Oh my God. So please ask questions. Babe, you can ask questions too. The world needs to know. But I'm just basically, I think people who are coming to this class kind of know what law of attraction is and they know what manifesting is. But I'll just do a quick thing. What law of attraction basically is, what you put out is what you get back. And baby, if someone asks a good question on there, please let me know. But, for the most part, I like to teach. Hi. So manifestation and law of attraction kind of go together, I think. But law of attraction basically is you put out what you give. Now, I want to share this because I tell Larry this all the time. I was like, when I first started learning about law of attraction, it was like, okay, your thoughts and your feeling and what you're doing, when you feel those things or you say those things out loud, that's what you put out to the universe, and that's what the universe is going to give you. And the first thing I was like, oh my God, what? But the things that I say, and I think I was reading the book and I read, it was like the next paragraph, and it was like, the question was, what if I say something that I don't really mean or whatever? And they're like, no. We give you a grace period to change what you're saying, what thoughts you have. You don't just say it out loud and then the universe is like, oh, I'll just take that. No. Yeah, it's more about your vibration. And I think that's why with law of attraction and with manifestation, it's about your vibration. So let's say, like you were telling me, you want to manifest these things. So let's say you're like, I want to manifest this, or I want to law of attraction this into my life. And you're saying the words and you're saying the stuff. But if inside you're like really not believing it, sometimes the universe will take your vibration. And so I feel like that is where EFT can come in and really help you with manifesting and providing the law of attraction, providing source or whatever, and actually hearing what you really want. Because there's times where we'll say things and we don't believe them. And the beauty of EFT is clearing out the blocks that are in the way of what you want to manifest. So let's say you really want to manifest a partner, or you want to manifest this or that, but inside you're like, I don't think I deserve this. And so that's kind of the vibration that's going underneath you. And so by using EFT to clear out the I'm unworthy to making you I am worthy, then the universe hears you even more. So I I really, really encourage people to really look at their lives and how they're living. Now, you told me a story. You're like, I know that I'm supposed to be with this partner, but the fact that you said he has to come to me, and you basically put that into the universe or source's hands. And and it's another thing with law of attraction manifestation. If you try to choke it, it's not gonna work. You have to flow in it. And so I will be doing like a quick tapping. In all of my classes, I do something that's very general, but it also kind of clears the way. So this one will clear the way for manifestations and law of attraction. Do it. But so basically, you are here today. Give me a little bit more overview. She talked to me before this started, but a little bit more like a condense of why you came today to this class.
I ended up here like it just by random. Because I was here yesterday, and then I was with my aunt, and then he told me about your class. And
Okay.
I was like, oh, like. I've been earlier this week. I was like, I want someone to teach me kind of how to, not the right way, but like a way, that, or like tell me what I'm doing wrong, or like
if what you're doing is in line with what should be. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up with the law of attraction. Some of them think like me, oh my God, I just said, F that person. Yeah. I didn't mean that. They just cut me off. And then it's like, oh, is the universe gonna give me that? And like I was telling you, I don't really think there's a wrong. I mean, there's a right way to manifest. I think there's a lot of different ways for different people to use their stuff. But I think when it comes to wrong ways, I think the main one is trying to control the outcome.
Yeah.
It's like, I've heard this a lot of time where it's like, you go and you put an order into Amazon and, you just kind of trust that it's coming. It's not like you're going and refreshing and refreshing and refreshing. And I mean, you can refresh. You can go on to Amazon and you can refresh if it's shipped, and you can check the thing all the time, but it will not there's nothing that you can do to make it get to you faster. Like there's nothing at all that you can do. And that's, I feel like, putting your order into the universe, into the law of attraction, into manifesting. The biggest thing is flow. Letting go. And it is so hard. Oh my God. I have days where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna manifest this. Okay, universe, this is what I want. And then I'm like, okay, all right. So then I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And the universe is like, we got it. And I'll be like, oh, no. I gotta do this and do that. And I think that the way that you were doing it and the way you're talking about it, where he even walked in today and you could have done something where like, hey, you want to get coffee? Well, you work at a coffee shop. This girl works at a coffee, they work at Starbucks. You'd be like, oh, it's really nice to see you. Do you want to do whatever? And I feel like you've been working so hard to put to the universe that you know that you want to manifest him in, but you want him and the universe to do it in that way. You do not want to influence it. And I feel like you are doing that 100% correctly. Do you struggle with that? Like, do you feel like you want to, or do you feel like, you said you're very intuitive, so you feel like that's the way?
I feel like when things between us ended when they did, I was doing a lot of the chasing. I was like wanting to, doing anything to get him back.
Yeah.
And then I really had to sit with myself. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. If you have to chase him, he's not the one.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? And then, I really had to I'm like, no, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because
if he's supposed to be there,
he will come back when he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And so I really had to work on my self-concept, because it was other things were happening surrounding that, when this was all going on. And so my self-concept was just so
Yeah.
low. Like it was like because every like things like every week it would be like another thing like adding on to it. So like I was at like
The low.
the really really low, and so like I've been working very hard to come back up.
Yeah, and I feel like your gut's telling you that he is supposed to be there, but I think part of your self-worth journey too is you realize that you do not have to fight.
No.
And that's a beautiful thing about law of attraction and manifestation is it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have to fight tooth and nail for something, if you have to, especially when it comes to relationships, I just literally, I saw one and I shared it and it was like, I can't remember, it was one of my followers and they, you know, I follow all these people and I posted and it was like, and if you're waiting for him to choose you or to heal or to do this stuff, then he's not the one. And the fact that you feel like he's the one, but you are just letting it go and you're letting the universe guide you. You're using your law of attraction. You're using your thing to just let it flow. Because I feel like today, because she said she hadn't seen him. How long? It had been.
We hadn't physically seen each other in a month and a half.
Right, and so she hasn't seen him in a month and a half. And then today, right before this class, he walks into her store. They work at different Starbucks, and they have to like do. Like I said, you have to exchange product exchange. So she has a product exchange, and so during this time, she was able to take some of the stuff over to the other Starbucks that he works at. But she was like, "No, I'm not going to even put myself into that if it's supposed to happen." So today, this boy walked in. They had a conversation. It was like, "Here's your beans." And he was like, "Thank you," and she let him go. Oh, this gives me tingles. I'm tingling. I love it. Oh my God. It's so cool. And it's like, I feel like people that come to my classes, and usually it's like 2 people or 1 person or whatever, but I feel like people that come to my classes are like supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Because then they can hear what these people, when I record these classes, they can hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And like my last class was fire. Oh my God. These two people were just bouncing off. It was amazing. So I'm going to tell you right now that in my experience and deep diving into this stuff, you are doing it correctly by putting your order into the universe and then letting it flow after that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like I said before with the EFT, I feel like EFT just enhances this. Because like you said, you started at the beginning, you started with this low esteem, a low stuff, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. And however you got out of there, you did it. And so it gets you into the thing. So what I really want to do here is, I'm really excited for the tapping. But all right, babe, I want you to, what's something, since you have met me, since you've learned about law of attraction, that is something that's hard for you to deal with when trying to manifest or utilize the law of attraction?
Well, originally, when I first started doing it, was just believing that it was real,
Right?
That this is the real truth, that everything we've been taught beforehand is just bullshit to keep us down and keep our vibration low so that we can't manifest things that we want,
Right.
Because it's all about being in a higher state of vibration, and pretty much everything out there keeps us in our lower 3 chakras, which are all primal instincts, basically.
Yeah.
That's why we just want to consume and have sex and be crazy and full of hate and fear.
Hate and fear, buy everything we don't need, and et cetera, et cetera.
So just getting out of that is pretty.
Do you find that tapping has helped you through that?
Yeah.
Kind of
It's just
getting rid of that belief.
It allows me to vocalize what I'm feeling or thinking internally and let it go, basically. And move out old stories.
Yes, the old And I'm teaching this at a new age shop, or I don't know if they call them new ages now. I've done EFT tapping for beginners here. I have done for mental health here, but I really think that our state of mind is such a big influence. And people can say, it's like, I've had people say, I can't just change my thoughts. I can't just think a positive thought and then be okay. And that's not what law of attraction or manifesting is. It's not just thinking positive thoughts. It's retraining your brain and your body and your nervous system and who you are as a person. Like you said, we're taught since we're little that we have to have shame. Too much. If we have too much money, we're rich and bad. We have too little money, we're poor and worthless. We don't own the right cars. We don't own the right stuff. And all of this stuff is, we are energy. Honestly, energy. Like, you have those things where you can, you see like different tones or whatever make the water move. And it's like, we're basically water floating in the meat sacks or whatever. We're basically doing this. And, I think that, and I think that it's super hard. I have some friends who desperately want a good life. They're like, I want to be positive, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. And it's like, oh, I said a positive thought this morning, or I'm trying to keep my thoughts positive. And there you go, you're trying, And what people I don't think really realize is that at the end of the day, you're in charge of yourself. Whether you believe in Jesus, or you believe in the universe, or you believe in Buddha, or you believe in nothing, whatever, the only person that you can control is yourself. And we let a lot of outside influences come in and wreak havoc on what we can and can't do. And so a lot of people, manifesting sounds awesome, but it sounds very far away. And up until I found tapping, I lived my life on a positive note. I have friends who probably are going to watch this who've known me for 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and they would always say, Virginia was always so positive. And it's like, oh, she can do it because she's positive. And she's like, and it was like, it wasn't necessarily that I was positive. It was that I'm a strong bitch. And I have this resilience inside me that I built as a little girl when I was bullied my entire life and told my entire life that I was wrong. And so in me, I always wanted to believe that there was something better. So I tried. I got better as time. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to switch my diet. I'm going to switch this. I'm going to not watch this movie. I'm going to, but I would still be like, if somebody else wanted to watch the movie, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch it, even knowing that like it's going to destroy my soul. And instead of just being like, oh no, this is not something I want to do, I let other people's thoughts and feelings and things just overtake me. And it was just, could not get out of the thing. And I always kind of believed in the law of attraction, but it was something that I, along with everything in my life, I believed that what other people could accomplish, but I could not. And I think all of us have had this, where we think, we watch somebody and we're like, oh, hell yeah, that person, look at them go, they're flying, whatever, and that's super awesome for them. But that's not something I can do. I lived my almost 40 years living like that, where it's like I can be this positive, but I can't be more positive than that, because I have bipolar disorder, which I don't have anymore. I have chronic illness. My parents did this to me. This and stuff, and it's like all these things. And if you just sit down and you give yourself a little minute and you think, why do I believe this? Why do I believe that I am not worthy of this? And I'm going to say 99.9% out of 10, it's because somebody else told you. Somebody else told you that you can't do it. That this is the one. Our family doesn't do this. Our family doesn't make money like this. Our family doesn't do this. And it's like, well, Mom, I want to do this. Our family doesn't do that. And it's like, once we become adults, we are ourselves. The generational curse. Yeah. Which, yeah, and all these things get in the way of manifestation, energy work, and stuff. I have my ex, God bless him, wanted me so badly to be who I was. But it irritated him so much that unconsciously he helped me and helped me and helped me down. And we let things like that happen, and then we worry about our families, our kids, our parents, our friends, our lovers, our everything else, when at the end of the day, the only person you can change, the only person you can do is yourself. That's it. And I know there's people out there who just think it's not for them and they can't do it, and I'm here to tell you that is a bold-faced lie. I don't know if children are watching this, maybe. If the children know me, I say that word all the time. And the biggest thing that helped me was EFT. Because through EFT, like I tell everyone, the awesomest thing is you don't have to believe what you're saying. You have to believe a word that is coming out of your mouth. You just have to say it. And in the beginning, when I deep dived into Gala's stuff, she had this thing called, what was it called? I can't remember what it is now. But it was a little YouTube series, and it wasn't the X-Files. I know somebody watching this probably know what it's called. Huh?
Lucas might.
Yeah. Gosh, it was like a 20 video series. And she was just diving into Abraham Hicks and Law of Attraction. She did this like 20 video series or whatever, you can watch it. So I'm watching this, and she was talking about the Law of Attraction. And that's when I bought the book by Abraham Hicks, and started reading. The book's a little bit over my head, and for some people who read it, it might be over your head, but there is so many different people that can explain to you the Law of Attraction. Just like how the Course in Miracles is like, and then there's people who help you realize what the Course in Miracles is about. So there is tons of information about Abraham Hicks and the Law of Attraction. But
Explain Abraham Hicks.
okay, so Abraham Hicks. Okay, so the Law of Attraction is basically, from what I have gathered, is based on Abraham Hicks. Now, basically, it's just Abraham came to Esther, and she started channeling him. So people who work with energy and stuff like that realize that sometimes people can channel to you. Sometimes when you hear your intuition, some people can say it's God's voice and stuff like that. You get the downloads. So basically, he came and started talking through her, and started saying this stuff. And so she, her husband started. I can't remember his name right now. Oh man, I have a problem with that. I can't remember his name of that, but he started asking questions, and she would answer, and they started writing it down. And now it's so cool. They have like these things, and he'll talk through her, and you can hear him. And they're basically a collective, and they've come to tell us that life is not hard. That having fun is your job, and being in the vortex, which is basically where you're feeling good, is where you start manifesting and you're doing all this stuff. It's very hard to get there. And the reason that we have a hard time getting to the vortex and doing Law of Attraction is, like I said, programming from years and years and years. And so, yeah, because the basis of Law of Attraction is you focus on the now. The future and the past really don't exist. It's because and they kind of don't.
No, they don't.
They really don't, because the future is in the future and you cannot access it, and the past in the past and you cannot access the past either. You can learn.
The past doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
All that matters is right now. And my friend's been sending me some Abraham Hicks stuff, and we've been playing them. And I posted one on my story the other day, and it was basically like, you know, you can do it right now, and it's a choice. And the thing is you have a choice. And I tell everybody this, and I think it irritates some people. There's a story where there's a guy on the street, you're walking, and he comes up to you with a gun, and he was like, give me your wallet. And you think, what's your automatic thing? What would you do if some guy comes up to you and is like, give me your wallet, has a gun to your face? What would you do? Do you feel like, give me your wallet? Because you feel like you have no choice. There's no choice. The choice is to give this man your wallet and hope to God doesn't shoot you, or, you know, whatever. But the truth is you have a choice. You can choose to give the man your wallet, hope to God he doesn't shoot you, and just leaves. You can choose to say, no, I won't give you my wallet, and you can shoot me if you want and hope that he's not going to shoot you. He may shoot you, but you could give him your wallet, he could shoot you too. So both choices suck balls. I mean, they both suck so bad. Like it's literally, one's giving into fear, the other one is standing your ground. Because honestly, you have no idea what's going to happen. This guy could be coming at you with a gun and whatever, and he's so desperate for your money, he doesn't want to kill anyone. He could be like, this is the first time he's actually holding a gun in his life. You don't know. He could be like someone just like stole all of his shit and he needs it, and his kid has no formula, or he needs them. You know what I mean? You don't know. You know, you could be like, no, I won't give you my wallet. Can I help you with something else? Do you need help with something else? He could still kill you. But that's not the point. The point is you do have a choice. And it sucks. I remember when I found out that I was choosing my life. And my biggest one that got me was that I knew that I should have left my ex. Like, I knew. And I know now that I chose to stay. And I know now I chose to stay because I thought that I was not worthy of anything better. And I stayed 7 years longer than I should have. Well, you know, whatever. And still today, you can see me, I'm getting a little choked up right now. I can still today feel the shame and the stuff around the fact that I made that choice. And I think that's why people choose to believe they don't have a choice. Because when you don't have a choice, if you do the wrong thing, it wasn't your fault. It's not my fault. I didn't have a choice. He had a gun to my head. He had a gun to my head. I had no choice but then to give him my wallet. Then to maybe stand your ground. Because another thing I always say too is the answer, unless you ask, the answer will always be no. Always. It will always be no. And I remember when finding out that, well, not finding out, but accepting that I had a choice, it was the most freeing thing. I was like, hell yeah, I have a choice. And then I realized I had to make choices. And the choices that I was making was affecting my life and the people around me. And I'm like, oh my God. But when you really sit and you really think and you're like, I have the choice. And both of these things suck. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. But at least you can have the choice that you could pick that will sit better with you. It will sit better with you. And once you start doing the choices that sit better with you, your nervous system and your brain will start to realize, oh, maybe it's okay to do this. It's going to suck, but at least I didn't compromise who I am. Go, no,
okay, so
at any time.
It's funny that, well, not everything happens for me, that you're talking about this, because I was at my old store.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just around this time of everything going on with my person, started like flipping a switch on me, like turning against me and saying all these negative things, and they were saying negative, like these things to other people, and people were starting to believe it. So like I just had so much negativity every time I went into work.
Yeah.
And so I made the decision to remove myself.
Yeah.
Because I felt like everything around me was just so like not in I couldn't control what they were saying, and then how people were thinking, and like all these other things. And
But
so
you could control what you did.
Yeah. And so I reacted to nothing. I reacted in no way, because then they started doing it to my face.
Yeah.
And I just walked away.
Yeah, because they wanted
my reaction.
Yeah, they wanted your reaction.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, no.
And then
You give them your energy.
Yeah, and so, because I felt like they had taken so much of, like, my energy and, like, all of that, and, like, my power, if you will.
And this is your job, too.
Yeah.
You're like, this is where I'm making money.
Yeah.
I've worked here. I all this stuff. And so your choice was like,
I need to remove myself.
Yeah.
Because the way I envisioned it, it was like this one big box, and they were just spewing out all this negative stuff, and it's just, like, bouncing off the walls. And I was just like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't care what they're saying when I leave, but I'm just going to remove myself.
So you went to a different store?
I did. I went to a different store. I'm at a different store right now. And, like, I was terrified to go to a different store because, like, these people that I were working with, they've been there since I started working there. So, like, it was kind of like, it was my home store, like, where, like, I grew and, like,
Yeah.
everything. And so we
your comfort zone.
Yeah. And
so you literally were like, you literally made the decision to leave your comfort zone, to leave your stuff, so that you could choose yourself and not drown in hell. Oh, the chills! You're giving me the chills. So awesome. Yes, that's a perfect example. It's terrifying. What if another store wouldn't take you?
That was another thing. I went to because it just happened that that's my old manager works at my current store now.
Oh, so it just worked out.
It worked out that way, and so I went to him.
That's
and
how it's supposed
to
go.
I was like, this is what's going on. Like, do you have room? Because he could have just told me no, but he was like, I'll take you as soon as possible.
And if you hadn't done that, you would have. The answer would have been no, completely, and you would have been stuck in that place. And that was me.
Yep.
I would stay in these things because I didn't want to cause a rift.
Yep.
And lately, I've literally removed myself from so many different parts and facets of my life, and people have gotten angry. There are many people, when we got engaged, who didn't even say a word to me. They said nothing to me. And I was just like, you guys want me to be happy? I'm happy now, and you're not happy that I'm, I give them grace and love. Blessed be, whatever. Same. But I can't. I just can't anymore. I can't do that. And my biggest advice for people who want to change and feel like they can't, to do the small steps, making little small tiny choices, I think maybe. But I know this is so controversial and no one wants to hear this, but you have a choice, and the ones that you are making are dictating your life. They're dictating where you go, what you do, who you're with. There's people who stay with their partners because we've been together this long. They got me through this time. They did this, and it's like, or family. It's like my mom raised me. She did all this stuff, and it's like, that was her choice. My mother, I got two. My mother gave me up for adoption when she was 16 years old. She wanted a better life for me. She was like, I'm going to give you up for adoption. She made that choice. And then, I was raised by my other mother, who caused a lot of drama. And my mom, my birth mom has apologized. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, all of this happened for a reason. It hurts, it sucks. But, my mother had for sure, she's a teenage daughter. She was teenage, and she was like, I was raised by a teenage mother. I'm not doing this to you. She had a choice. It killed her. She told me like 6 months after her and my dad got on his motorcycle, and they were like 17. They wanted to come find me. Couldn't find me because they told, they wouldn't know where it was. It was kind of a closed adoption, but she was able to write me. But, she made the choice and it sucked. But that's why we have divorce. And that's why we have choice of like, even if you've been married 47 years and you love them, you can love someone to death and not be with them. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It means that you are choosing yourself and you are choosing. I had to leave that 10-year relationship to follow it. I've manifested the hell out of this man. Literally every single thing is that, and I am uncomfortable. It's been a year. I am still uncomfortable. Like, he asked me to marry him. I was like, hell yes. And also was like, what is happening? At the same time, trying to believe that this is my reality. But I keep choosing every day to have this be my reality. And any of you who have seen the way he looks at me or I look at him know that this is, we just did a photo shoot for our engagement and the girl literally calls our album Love on Earth. Because she was like, she met us for 2 seconds. She didn't even meet us. She was watching us at an event that we went to. And afterwards, she just came up to us and she was like, you guys are so inspiring. Like, I can see this. You light me up. And this made me go home and do this with my husband and talk to him or whatever. And I could not be here. I could choose to leave. I could choose to be like, this is so uncomfortable. There's days I cry, I look at him and I was like, I can't even see, I don't believe that you're here. My inner person tells me that you're not real. But I know that you're real, as long as I'm here. But like, that is something I've been working on and moving in. It's not easy. It's not easy to find the love of your life or to find the job of your life or to move to where you want to go. None of this shit is easy, but it also is. What's not easy is us fighting how simple it is.
Okay,
Go for
so it's we're talking about the same person. I manifested him the first time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so funny. I don't know why I was compelled to bring this today. I didn't even know I was coming to this class. Like, seriously.
This happens to my classes. You don't understand. It does.
Look at the date, and then look what I wrote.
November 5th, 2021. I manifest that I will become everything I want to be. I manifest that I will fall in love by the end of the year. I don't chase, I attract. What I belongs to me will simply find me.
We started dating, that was the one I was started dating 12. That's weird.
The way you wrote this, so everyone, she wrote this in the present tense. Very important. Okay, that's one thing I want to say when it comes to manifesting and when it comes to law of attraction. You talk like it's already happened. Mm-hmm. And when you said, I manifest that I will, you said I will. But it's like, okay, yeah, so in here, you did manifest him. Yeah, and so that I will. And it's like by the end of the year. So if you were to do it again, you write it, say, I manifest, I will be in love. Mm-hmm. You know, that I will. So there's a lot of things, but yeah. And then you do it, and what you did right here was you left it very, there's specific and non-specific. I can't say specific. Thank you, I can't say that word. Ways of doing it, and it's like, and it will simply find, and you found him.
He was actually right next to me when we both did it together, and we didn't show each other when we wrote, but we showed each other like months later, like after we'd been dating for months. Yeah. And it was the same thing.
Yeah, and
almost
it's
like almost like different like beginning but same ending.
Yeah, and so in here too, let me regress or digress, whatever. Let me go back. It says I manifest that I will become everything I want to be, and by saying that I will, I'm going to say that again. The fact that she said I will, also is saying not trying. Mm-hmm. When you say that I will try, it puts wishy-washy on it. Mm-hmm. By saying that I will, that puts it in, I feel like that works too. I feel like your best way to do it is to talk like it's already happened, because then the
Yeah.
universe will hear you. But I think at this time, before you've learned to manifest
Yeah,
more.
this was way before like I actually learned like what it was. It was
Perfect,
literally just
okay.
me writing it down.
Okay,
like,
so this is her writing this down
2 years ago.
2 years ago, as before knowing what law of attraction is and before knowing what anything is. The fact that you said I will, right there puts it in I will. I will succeed. I will get the clients. I will manifest the job that I want. I will do it. And you did do it right,
Yeah.
because you could have said I tried. You look confused.
Well, it's just that I don't know about the I will part.
Yeah.
Is it-
I feel like it's a good start if you
It's a good, yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, it's a good start. So the fact that she
Yeah.
didn't know what was
Yeah.
going on, the fact that she wrote it as in like I will,
And
is
I
a
think
start.
It's more your intention that you're putting
Yeah,
into it.
like
Yeah, the intention.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Please, you guys must
yeah.
talk. Remember, sometimes
Yeah,
I just
no, it
ramble.
wasn't-
You didn't quite understand what it was, but you still had the right intention
Yeah.
in what you were doing. So that, I think, helped.
And then it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it happened, and it's like, and so if it's hard for you to start out by saying I am a millionaire, you could say I will become a millionaire until you're but the intention is the most important key in doing law of attraction and manifesting.
Yeah, because the way I say like things now,
Mhm.
I've said it as if it's already happened.
See, perfect. So this is a perfect example for people who maybe have written things down in your journals before knowing what law of attraction is or manifesting or whatever. But the best thing to do with manifesting is talking about it, however, like it's already happened. So when you talk about it how it's already happened, because the universe doesn't really know what's going on.
Mhm.
Like,
The universe only knows now.
it only knows now.
Mhm.
So when you say I will, I feel like that as a start, if that's more comfortable to people, that's priming yourself.
Oh yeah, like at the beginning of like just this summer alone or whatever I was getting into it,
Mhm.
I would say I will, but then I was like, no. I was like, that feels wrong. I was like, no, like I need to act like I'm already there.
Yeah.
I need to say that I'm already there.
So I
Because-
think with some people it's going to help them, but then they
Yeah.
can get to where you are. It's like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm already there.
Because because I know some people say like I am, and then where I was getting off of saying I will, then I said I am, and then I was like, no, I'm done with that. I feel like
Yes, and it's
that's,
like, oh, I saw this thing on the chakras. So there was this thing I shared where it's like for different chakras. Like I feel, I can't remember which one they are. I never can remember things with
I am is the base chakra.
base. Yeah, for the root. Yeah.
And I feel, I believe, is your sacral. And then I do is the solar plexus.
Huh.
I love,
Love is the heart.
Heart.
Yeah.
I speak.
Throat.
is the throat. I see is your third eye, and I know.
Yeah.
is your
So-
crown.
You could, if you're into the chakras and you're into stuff like that, you could always move it around like that
Mhm.
too. It's like I love every single thing about me.
Mhm.
You say it that way, or I am everything I want to be and more. And so these are the same things, but they're from different parts. So if you're like a chakra person, you're like hella into the energy stuff, those are things that you can look into while manifesting, while doing the law of attraction and stuff, like, and wording your stuff. But like you said, I will is a great place to start, but you have to get past that.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm like that doesn't feel right to me anymore. I need to just keep.
That's it's because
Really?
saying I will is putting it in the future.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, why does it have to
Doesn't
be the
exist.
future?
Yeah,
Like,
same.
you know.
See, this is why I like these classes, so you can tell me, because sometimes I think that I like something's going on and then I don't, and that's why I know I like to have people interact with me and ask me questions and stuff like that, so that I can give the correct information. I can do the best that I can as a teacher, because we're all human beings. I am a human being. I do not know everything. I've learned a lot of stuff, and I cured bipolar 1 out of my body, and I've done a lot of things, but I still struggle. I still struggle with a lot of stuff. And, you know, doing with the EFT, when you are, and the best thing is, like, let's say you are doing like I will, you just can't get past the I will. While you're tapping, you can just be like, I know that I say I will all the time, and I know that I'm going to accomplish these things, but I want to change my thing to I am, or this is who I am now, or look at how many cars I own. This is awesome, you know, if you want a lot of cars or whatever. So these are all things that you can tap in. And that's why I encourage people to tap on these things. But also, that's why I think sometimes the clinical stuff can get in the way of clearing some stuff out. Because one thing Gala did for a while when she was doing the morning pages, I think she still does morning pages, where she would write a journal entry, which is three pages. You do a 3-page, and sometimes she would just sit there and then she would just tap out everything she wrote. So I think it's very important to use tapping in a way that works for you. And if the clinical way is like doing it the way, you know, more power to you. But I feel like the intuitive way that Gala does and that I do opens it more to being more flowy and adding things as you want, and writing stuff down and going through and then being like, okay, intuitively that doesn't feel right, I'm going to switch it up or whatever. Giving yourself the grace in tapping into being flowing with your stuff. And that's why with EFT, with you know, law of attraction and stuff, it's really good. So I think let's do like a. Do you have ever EFT tapped before?
No.
Okay, so basically EFT tapping is you're tapping on meridian points in the body. I can show you really quick. You basically start out with the hand right here, and this is the first one, so you're just going to be hitting right here. And then there's top of the head, which is basically right here at the crown. So you can use 1 or 2 hands. I use 2 hands. I like that because it goes, it keeps it together and flowy. Yeah, it's center. But you can use 1, and then the next one is the eyebrow point. So you go here, you go here, 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 collarbone, and then under like the armpit, like where your bra strap is, or if you don't have a bra, you know, whatever. And then your 2 wrists together. So these are the points that I use. I always reiterate this, and also I'm going to start reiterating this, is that this is energy work. You might yawn, burp, sneeze. If you feel like weird for any reason, you can stop. I am not a professional like doctor or anything like that. So it is energy work. So know that when you're going into it, you might feel a little tingly. If you're yawning, you're burping. I mean, I have sneezed, I have cried, I have shaked, I have felt nothing. So none of it's wrong. It's all the same. And all you do is just follow after me and just repeat what I say. So, all right, so let's do one. I'm going to do it on, since this is the class on this, is we're going to basically tap out like the fear of having the choice to manifest. I don't know, does that like having the choice to like manifest, or that, no, I think better would be it's safe for us to be in the zone, to feel good. It's safe to feel good. It's safe to use manifestation, because I think a lot of people deal with the fact that it's like, it's not for me, it's for other people. I see all these people manifesting their best lives. How can I do it? I have all these things in the way. This one's a little harder for me.
The thing is, we don't realize that we all are already manifesting everything that we do and see and experience. So it's really just learning how to control it, by changing our thought patterns, our actions, behaviors.
changing our thought. Yeah, I think maybe take that it's safe. It's safe to change our thoughts and stuff. It's safe to manifest good things.
I was gonna say, like, the beginning of, like, me, you know, on, like, my manifesting journey, you know, it felt wrong. It felt wrong.
It felt wrong.
Yeah, it did.
Yes,
It felt
wrong.
And, like,
To feel good or to
Yeah.
love money or to want
what I want.
what
like,
you want.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it felt wrong, and I was like, this feels wrong, and I'm like, keep going. Like, what my intuition was like, no, keep going. Like,
Yeah,
keep
so
going.
like your head's like, your programming is like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
But your heart and your intuition and your gut was like, no, this is right,
Yeah,
because that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And so, like, when I would, so when I say my affirmations, I don't say them, like, right when I get up, I say them while I'm driving to work. I'll put on music that makes me feel good, and I'll just, like, turn it down, just, like, to where I can barely hear it.
Yeah.
And then I will say my affirmations to myself, and, like, what, like, has, not what's already happening. Like,
Yeah.
what I want to happen, but as if it's already
It's
mine.
right, it's happening.
It's already mine, because and also something else I've learned, I can't be the person that I was before. That didn't have it. I can't. That part of me doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and that's okay, because it's okay to let go of your old self. It's okay to let go of the old programming and to live a good life.
I think that's the thing a lot of people don't realize about manifesting is when you want to manifest the life that you want, the universe is like, okay, but you have to be this person for that life. And people think, well, I'm just going to be the same person I've always been, but you can't.
Yeah, so
you
like,
have to change to fit that narrative.
I live
Yeah.
as if I already have it. My
Yeah.
life is still going.
Yeah.
That's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
But I live as if I already have it.
Yeah, and I think,
Like what my daily routine would look like
yeah, like we have a friend who wants to travel. Her entire thing is she wants to travel. She's like, yes, I want to travel. But she lived in a house, played video games all the time, didn't do anything, right? So recently she was like, nope. She literally moved out of her house, moved into her car. In the hottest month, moved into her car. And she has like a little hatchback or whatever. And she was like, I am scared out of my head. But I want to travel. And the universe isn't going to give me that if I'm sitting on my ass every day in front of a TV, playing video games, not leaving my house, not doing... It's going to give me shit.
Yep.
And so I'm struggling a little bit right now because it's hotter than hell outside, but she's doing it. She might, go back to the house for a second, maybe not, whatever. But her goal is she's almost ready to get a better car for her to live in. She's saving all this money by not paying rent, not doing stuff. And it was uncomfortable, but she had to change who she had been. Same thing with him. When we met, he had been doing the same thing for 8 years, pretty much, right? And that was not leaving the house. And he was like, I'm never going to meet anyone. Got on Tinder for 2 seconds. He was like, this is the most pointless thing of my life. I have to leave my house. I have to leave my house and go to a place. And the minute he decided to do that, got out of his house, the universe slammed us together.
You wanna hear something? So 2021, so it was like summer
Yeah.
or whatever. I hadn't met him yet.
Yeah.
Someone from my past, like, he did me dirty. It was someone I thought I would be romantically involved with, but it never ended up happening.
Yeah.
And what he did, he said some things, and I always told myself I'm never letting him apologize, because that was my own way of like punishing him without actually doing anything.
Yeah.
And then so he came back into town, he was a little here, and there was a holiday party, he was, do you want to come? And I was like, sure. So I ended up, because we were on good terms.
Yeah.
So we ended up going and then had a good time. The party ended up dying down. And he's sitting there next to me and he's like, can I tell you something? And I was like, sure. And he was like, I just realized sitting here right now, he's like, I never apologized to you for everything that I did when we were 19. Like what I did to you. He's like, he's like, and I want you to know, like, it weighs on me. Like, not, he's like, I don't think about it the whole time when we're hanging out, but like afterwards, like, he's like, I think about it because I've never apologized to you. So in that moment, I was like,
I have a choice.
I have a choice, right? I let him apologize to me, or I don't.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped for a second because I knew where that was going.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I was like, I don't need to hold on to that anymore. I'm done with that situation. Why am I holding on to it? I was like, I don't need to do that. And then so I let him apologize to me. About a week and a half after that, that's when my person got hired.
Exactly.
As soon as
because you're holding on to it.
Yeah.
He was holding on to a bunch of fear that he had. Finally was like, I let it go. He told me the fear and I was like, I don't even care. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, we hold on so much to these things and we don't realize that if we just let go of these tethers and these things, oh, I put that in the tab too. Oh, these tethers. Okay. Yeah, it's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Let go of these things and whatever, that we open up for manifestation. And like you said, it's like you could have like you're holding on, but what are you really holding on to? You're holding on to the past and something that, and you held on to something where when you're like, okay, I'm not going to let someone forgive to me, that holds on to anger, resentment. And what does that do? Poison you. You know, and in that moment, you made that decision where, and that's another thing where your decision, she could have been like, nah, fuck you. You did what you did to me, and I'm not going to let you, you know, and I have a lot of friends who have that, where that person hurt me too bad. And, you know, I don't think that with Robert, I've never let him not apologize. I've really let him, it's hard for me to forgive, and I think it's more me forgiving myself or letting myself do that. It's more not really about him, it's about me. And, you know, thankfully, I can fix that about myself. I can heal my anger. And by you letting that go, you let go of that past. So, okay, perfect. Yeah, so, okay. So, we're gonna tap on that it's safe to, what was it that you had said? Like, you had said about having, I'm just gonna tap on it. It's safe for us to let go of our old selves, to let go of what we wanted to do, and to let the energy work come in. Because I know a lot of people who follow me, who come to this place, we're very interested. We want to be better. We want to feel better. We want to live lives that we want to live, but there's all these things blocking it, and most of the time it's us. It's literally us blocking ourselves, because we have the choice to let go of things. Or also, we have the choice too, as adults, to let go of childhood trauma, of something that we couldn't take care of at the time. But now as adults, we have a chance to do that through energy work, EFT tapping, moving your body, any of this stuff that you do to, you know, get, because trauma lives in the body. I'm going to preach that till the end of it. You know, trauma lives in the body. And when we hold on to these trauma things, especially like, oh, I did this when my kids were young, I did something and I can't forgive myself, or you know, or I did this, you know, to this person and I can't forgive myself for that. All those things literally are no longer a part of who we are. They are in a past, and there's nothing we can do to change them. All we can do is now. And why not live? Why not live now? We went through a damn pandemic, people. We were stuck in the house forever. I mean, introverts love that. But like, you know, I mean, we were stuck. There was a point there where we did not know what was going to be normal again. There is no better time than now to change who you are, to embrace the law of attraction, to embrace feeling good, to embrace change. I just did a tapping on this. And to embrace being the best version of yourself, and not stifling that because of something that has previously happened. Each day is a new day to make literally, I've seen people who have lived years and years and wake up one day and they're like, I'm done. Like me, I am a completely different person. I'm living a completely different life. Everything is different, like a 180 than I was 2 years ago. And I thought it wouldn't be true, and it's true. And the only thing that I did was I chose to want better and to figure out how to do it and to stop stopping myself and to stop putting myself in situations and thinking I owe things to people or owe things to myself. None of that. We have one life. If we have more, we're living those at a different time, not now. So this is a life. This is saying being present, being who you are, and loving who you are, and just working through that. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best, guys. I feel like there's so much here, and I'm gonna miss all of it, but we're just gonna.
Yeah.
I got it. Do it from the guts, from the intuitions. All right. So I like to rub my hands together like it's there. All right, we're gonna start on the side of the hand, just gently. Yeah, just like you're tapping on someone's shoulder at a concert, not like punching them. No, just lightly on the side of the hand. I have been taught my entire life that it's wrong to feel good.
It's wrong to feel good.
It's wrong to want things for myself.
It's wrong to want things for myself.
That I'm supposed to be obligated to my family,
I'm supposed to be obligated to my family,
to my kids,
to my kids,
to my workplace,
to my workplace,
to my community,
to my community,
even if these are toxic places.
even if these are toxic places.
Like I'm supposed to owe them something,
Like I'm supposed to owe them something.
even if they don't want the best for me.
Even if they don't want the best for me.
And this programming runs super deep,
This programming runs super deep.
all the way back to when I was a little girl, boy, anything.
All the way back when I was a little boy.
But I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it.
I want to live a good life.
I want to live a good life.
I want to feel good in my body.
I want to feel good in my body.
I want to wake up in the morning being like, hell yeah,
I want to wake up in the morning being like, hell yeah,
this is the life I want.
this is the life I want.
Instead of saying, I want that life so bad.
Instead of saying I want that life so bad.
So even though this has been my story
So even though this has been my story
for so long,
for so long,
and even if I'm doing a lot better,
even if I'm doing a lot better,
I still struggle,
I still struggle,
and that's okay.
and that's okay.
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept and forgive myself.
love and accept and forgive myself.
Wow, that was like, I'm tingly, and I'm like not very tingly, but like that was like powerful as AF. All right, so now we're gonna do what I showed you. We're gonna go through the points, and all you're gonna do like that is just repeat after me. Forgot to mention this. Forget that people haven't tapped before. The main goal is to say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Love and accept and forgive myself. I choose to honor and accept myself. Any of these. I say that one because I learned from Gala. So if you do them on your own, you choose one you love. But the beauty of it is you don't have to believe what you're saying, but your intuition and your heart and your subconscious hear you. So as you go through the points, if there's something that I'm saying that you don't believe, that you don't feel, repeat it anyway. Because you're obviously here because you want to do better and you want to live better and you want to feel good. So by doing this practice and saying the things you're saying, you're telling yourself and your body and the universe and source and Jesus and whoever that that is what you want. All right, let's start with my head. I've lived with this old programming for too long.
I've lived with this old programming for too long.
Because the truth is,
Because the truth is,
I deserve an amazing life.
I deserve an amazing life.
And this might irritate many.
And this might irritate many.
But at the end of the day,
But at the end of the day,
I love myself.
I love myself.
And this doesn't mean I don't love my family.
And
this doesn't mean I don't love my family.
This doesn't mean I don't love my kids.
This doesn't mean I don't love my kids.
This doesn't mean I don't love my partner
This doesn't mean I don't love my partner
or partners.
or partners.
It doesn't mean that I want bad things for them.
It doesn't mean that I want bad things for them.
It doesn't mean that I want them to fail or anything.
It doesn't mean that I want them to fail or anything.
It just means that I want to live my best life.
It just means that I want to live my best life.
It just means that I am choosing to be my best self.
It just means that I'm choosing to be my best self.
And by being my best self,
And by being my best self,
this benefits my family
this benefits my family
and my partners
and my partners
and my kids
and my kids
and the people I work with.
and the people I work with.
It is not on me if they get irritated,
It is not on me if they get irritated.
because I know truthfully
Because I know truthfully,
people want what's best for me.
people want what's best for me.
Even if they act like they don't,
Even if they act like they don't.
it's just a part of them that needs to be healed.
It's just a part of them that needs to be healed.
And by being my best, authentic self
And by being my best, authentic self
is the best way to show them,
is the best way to show them.
because I can't change them.
Because I can't change them.
I can't change anyone.
I can't change anyone.
So today I am choosing
So today I am choosing
to let go of the old programming
to let go of the old programming
that tells me that I have to stay small for my family
that tells me that I have to stay small for my family
or anyone else.
or anyone else.
We as a collective
We as a collective
are done sacrificing ourselves for others.
are done sacrificing ourselves for others.
Because when we do that,
Because when we do that,
we're only preventing them
we're only preventing them
of the opportunity to also become their best selves.
opportunity to also becoming their best selves.
And that's all we really want.
That's all we really want
For our friends and family
for our friends and family
to live their best lives.
to live their best lives.
We're constantly like, yes, girl, yes, you, I want you to live your best life.
Constantly like, yeah, you I want you to live your best life.
Sorry. So why can't we give that to ourselves?
So why can't we give that to ourselves?
Today I am choosing to give that to myself.
Today I'm choosing to give that to myself.
All the love and support I give everyone else,
All the love and support I give everyone else,
I'm giving it to myself.
I'm giving it to myself.
I'm ready to accept manifesting
I'm ready to accept manifesting
in the good way.
in a good way.
I'm ready to bring in the things that the law of attraction can give me
I'm ready to bring in the things that law of attraction can give me
and live my best life.
and live my best life.
So even though this is going to be super hard,
So even though this is going to be super hard,
it's going to be amazingly worth it.
it's going to be amazingly worth it.
And I deeply and completely
And I deeply and completely
love and accept and forgive myself.
love and accept and forgive myself
because I am 100% worthy,
Because I am 100% worthy.
and so it is.
So it is.
Take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, let it go. Okay, I want to know how you're feeling because you've never tapped before.
I feel good.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because with tapping, you don't have to just sit there and be like, life is great, yay. No, you can get in there. And there's times where I am crying and I am doing it, but you can clear out whatever you need. And I also do, individual stuff where you can hire me to do individual stuff. And in that, what we do is you tell me specifics, what you say, and I will say that, and we will tap it out. But for everyone who watched this class, I really hope that it was very informative for you, and hearing other people say about it, that maybe understanding law of attraction and manifesting, and you're not alone in feeling like it feels wrong. And that's where the tapping can come in, is that what we tapped right now is feeling out it's not wrong. It's okay for us to feel this way. It's okay for us to feel awesome. And by doing the EFT tapping, you're tapping that into your subconscious, and it's rewriting your brain. It's rewriting your story that it's okay to live the manifestations. Because I think a lot of us spend time, it's like, I really want that. I really want that relationship with my partner. I really want that relationship with my kids. I really want, this stuff, but how do I get there? It all starts with you. And then you are the ripper effect. I think people get scared because some people won't come with you. And that's scary, especially when it comes to your family and stuff. But I truly believe that if you can be who you are, it will radiate into people. And especially when it comes to loved ones, I want to say that you want what's best for them, and the best thing is to be your best self. And using EFT tapping to tap out your traumas and your things like that, and tapping in new programming and new things of what you want to be is ultimately amazing. I have so many tappings on my page. I'll be doing more. I just put one up on change because change is hard and difficult, but so worth it. So, and I love you to DM me, reach out to me, any questions. I would love that. I'm going to turn this off, and so I can talk to the lady who's here. But I hope you all have a great day.